Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we have a review of Lloyd's Jet Mech, which retails for $109.99 USD. It releases on August 1st in North America, however, it's released June 1st everywhere else in the world, and for me, released like May 27th for some reason. But yeah, it's a very nice set. It's very cool to have. And let's get into the review. So the first small build is this little flyer for Sora. It's a very nice thing. It's nice that we're getting these sorts of things again. It's been a while since we just got like a little flying vehicle for a character, because why not? It's got some very nice detailing, a little thruster on the front which can spin. The two, what I guess are supposed to be turrets, but obviously they don't actually shoot. You got two wings on the side which can move up and down, and then this little tail piece which again moves up and down, which very nice, follows her color scheme of dark blue, the whites, and then the coral pink. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You just put Sora or whoever you want at the back, standing. You can sort of simulate them holding it. You can, I guess, have them sit down. Actually, I haven't tried this. Yeah, you can have them sit down, but it just looks a bit awkward with them sitting down. But yeah, that's it. You can, I was gonna say you can do other things, but you really can't. But yeah, very small build. Our next side build is this spectral skeletal dragon thing. It's a very nice build, a lot bigger than it seems on the box, and it feels like a worthy sort of villain side build that we haven't gotten in what feels like forever. But starting at the head, it's got a posable neck, but that's about it. It moves up and down, and that's it. There's no posable like head because it's just stuck on with a Technic joint. Same piece used in the Tournament Temple City, which is nice for like a skeletal looking head. It just kind of limits everything. It's got a mouth here, which is very nice. It's got this little blue piece, which at least on the sides of the eyes, it makes it look like the eyes are glowing. However, if you were to open it, kind of ruins the immersion. But yeah, it's all right for a head, but the not moving is a huge problem for some of the other dragons this wave. Coming on down, you got a seating area for whoever you want. So on the box it shows Kerr, and she can just sit there. Pretty nice sort of seat. You got these two little wisp kind of pieces, like it's supposed to emulate a wisp. Obviously they're blades, but I don't know. Then comes up to this banner which has the Forbidden 5 logo. These banners are what the reveal blade is for. Yeah, reveal blade. And you just sort of hover over it and you can see the red comes out and the blue doesn't. So there, if I put this over my camera, you can see the Forbidden 5 logo and some like eyes, but like you can already make that out. I don't know, it's an interesting sort of gimmick, but it's kind of clunky at times. Anyways, continuing on with the dragon, you've got the wings / arms, because they end with the feet down here, which is just on a ball joint. These are on hinges, but you can't really move them any further than that. It's a very gappy design, similar to the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, where it's just got the bones without any actual wing in between, which at least that one, it had sort of the blackish wing to show something, but this is just bare. And then that's obviously the same on the other side. Underneath this, there's like a little rib cage as well, which is very nice. It's a very interesting sort of design. Coming over to the legs, we have, again, on hinges, which is a shame because you really can't pose this dragon outside of this. You can sort of move a leg up, but it just kind of looks weird. And then the feet are on ball joints, but that doesn't really change too much. But yeah, it's a very nice design. These feet are bigger than these ones, but that's really it. And coming up to the tail, it's a very small, thin tail, but you can move it around a bit on ball joints, like most dragon tails have been recently. But Yeah, it's an alright build. It's nice that we're getting a villain build, obviously, and a pretty substantial one. This could be a set on its own, honestly. It wouldn't be a great set, but it would be same as like the Hunter Hound set from the first season. But yeah, very nice build. Onto the main attraction, I guess. So this is the Jet Mech, Lloyd's Jet Mech. It's actually a really beautiful build. I genuinely like this build so much. When building it, it was so interesting because, again, no one's reviewed these sets, at least when I was building it. It was just like a new experience. It was not a new experience, but it was something that I had really no idea. I'd only seen a few images and I was confused on how everything worked. But at the front we've got our cockpit, so that just opens up. You can put Lloyd in. Only problem with this is it doesn't work with his sword on his back. So let me just take that out. Then you just lift up his arms, sit him down, and he's in. Just like that. And there's Lloyd in the cockpit. From my knowledge, there's nowhere to put his weapon. He also is the character that comes with the reveal blade. And again, you got nowhere to put it, so I find that really bad. All the other sets have places to put character weapons if they've got a cockpit or a type of cockpit. Not this one, which is the only fault I have with this set, I think. But coming on up, you can see these are supposed to emulate thrusters, or like the front-facing thrusters where it comes in, but these are just where the joints are. Coming up, you got the two big panel pieces with stickers. Again, very nice looking. You got this sort of turret at the front, so that can go from side to side. To shoot, you can kind of go up and down, but not really. That plays into the transforming feature though. Then you got the wings. The wings are, again, pretty bland, but you can sort of fold them back if you want to be a bit more of like a fighter jet type of thing. Or you can have them all the way forward to be a bit more plain like. They got the Prime Empire pieces out here in neon yellow, I think that is. Which is very crazy that they're still using this piece, because we haven't used it in NINJAGO since 2020. But coming around to the back, you've got thrusters, which obviously turn into the legs. Very nice bend. Again, I really like the colors. My only weird thing about this is how flat they feel at the top, but obviously they need to be feet, so they have to be flat. But yeah, very nice. Don't really have much else to say about them. They can go from side to side, but that doesn't really change anything for the jet function. That's more for the mech side. So I think we need to transform this, so let's do that. So to transform our mech, we first want to take off the wing, the back wing pieces. Then we want to bring it up like this. Bend down the cockpit and turn this turret around. So now it's a head. Then you need to split the legs apart. So now they are apart. Bring them forward just a bit, not too far. Bend the legs forward, the feet forward. Then you bring out the arms down with these, and you just turn the hands out. Oh, I did accidentally do this too forward. And then wing, the like extra wing parts just go on the hands, and those are the two swords. So now let's go over the actual review of the mech. So now it's turned into the mech form. It's very interesting. Obviously the same sort of details we went through all before. So thrusters, obviously these feel way more like legs than they felt like thrusters. There's no knees in these, unfortunately, but they have to be permanently bent for the thruster mode to look nice, I guess. But yeah, it's an alright. It comes out alright, it comes out looking nice. There is a Technic pin out here, but that's so they can connect for when it's in jet mode. Coming up, you can see the cockpit is now, well, the cockpit but it's very different compared to other mechs, as you can fully see the figure. There's no like control panel or anything. Then you've got the Source Dragon logo at the top. Coming up, you can see this is the turret, but now it's the head. And it's come out alright. These do still feel like turret weapons, even in mech mode, but that's just because you have it in jet mode, so that's what you're thinking the entire time. Coming on down, you can see shoulders are those like main front thrusters. Then you got the hand, which is a very nice simple build. It's got a little thumb, 3 fingers, and it can just hold a sword in there pretty easy. You can hold any weapon that mechs have, but obviously you want to use these ones. Yeah, that was something I was going to get to. It's not the most stable, because obviously if it was made purely as a mech, it would be completely stable. But because it's made to also be a vehicle, it's not the most stable in the feet. However, as long as you're not moving it around too much, like if you're holding it stationary or you always got a hand on it, it's never gonna fall. And all the pieces itself, like themselves, are connected very nice, like nothing's loose at all. But yeah, everything's copied over onto the other side. Then coming around to the back, you can see this engine piece is now put at the back. Everything's detailed because obviously this is the top of jet mode. You can see the wings back here. So this is what they look like when they're fully out, but even in mech mode, you can sort of bring them out if you want to have sort of like Sam Wilson, Captain America. That's the thing I think of for some reason, where he's got the wings on the back of his suit, and you can just use them as wings, or you can keep them down. They're more of a stylistic thing than anything. You can also see they have at the back, again, Technic pin and hole, so they can connect together when it's in jet mode. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It's a beautiful set, I will say. Definitely one of my favorites. Obviously, it's hard to contend with stuff like the Fire Knight Mech and the Guardian Dragon and the Temple Bounty. But out of the basic sets that aren't super expensive, I definitely think this is my favorite. I will talk over some of those other sets in future reviews, but let's move on to the figures. So our first figure is just the regular Spectral Dragonian. I love their new design. I love the Ghost Tails as well coming back. It's been a long time since we've had just Ghost Tails as our main, like, characters with Ghost Tails just generically in sets. It follows a very similar to design as the Part 1 ones, except obviously these have the blue. New weapons, which is just a long handlebar and that same sort of piece that's used on the dragon. They get the armor pieces, but now in dark blue, which I think is a nice recolor. The tops are now the gunmetal gray, which looks a bit weird. The red horns still look a bit weird. I think blue horns would look nice, but I can't fault it too much. We get quite a few of these in the sets. There's 2 variations, the one with the ghost tail and there's the one with the regular legs. But yeah, it's a very nice figure, but probably the worst in the entire set. Next up is Tyr, who is basically just one of the regular Dragonians. He uses the same torso, same legs, I'm pretty sure, as the ones that use legs. I gotta double check that. He comes with this new, this different weapon. It's sort of like a spear axe type thing, but it helps him set him apart. The other thing that helps set him apart is he continues using the gunmetal gray one. Gunmetal gray armor piece. He gets a blue dragon on the back, so he gets his blue wings, and then he uses this white skull, like the white helmet piece with white horns, which looks like amazing. I wish all the Dragonians use this instead of the gunmetal gray one, but it makes Tyr feel special, unlike he did in the Part 1 sets, where his only difference was he had bigger horns and that was it. But this makes him feel much more different, and it's a very unique figure just in general, just because we don't really get villain generals too often, which are, you know, Obviously, we've got people like Jordana and Cinder, but that's different. And then same with Imperium, as it was sort of just a mix of everything. But having a single general guarding, like, as the head of the Dragonians, not just the Forbidden Five being the head, is very nice. And I'm glad we got him in at least one of these sets. Next up is Kerr. She is one of the 2 new Forbidden Five to come in this wave. Very, very nice figure. Comes with arm printing to follow this sort of like same chest thing with the bits of paper and her skin underneath, I think. Leg printing is also really nice. Comes with this sort of like tool weapon. I don't know what it's called. It's a Ninjago weapon. You can already tell. It comes with the same with the rogue hat, I believe, is what this is going to be referred to. But Rox also uses it in the set she comes in, and then obviously Rogue uses it in all the sets he comes in. But yeah, going on to the head printing, it's very nice. Again, looks very zombie-like, Master of Decay and everything. Probably my favorite Forbidden Five figure. Not for favorite Forbidden Five character. That's a whole different discussion. But as in terms of design, I think this might be my favorite. It might just be recency bias. I think that's hair coming out the back of the head as well. I don't know. But it's very cool. A very nice figure. Glad that she came in one of the sets, as her and Rox just never came in that first wave. So getting Kerr now. I'm really struggling to put this hat on. Oh my god. Yeah, Rox and Kerr are both very nice figures. However, we'll cover Rox in the set she comes in. Anyways, next figure. Our next figure is Lloyd. I believe we're calling these the Spectral suits because they're fighting Spectral Dragonians, and I don't know, Spectral suits just make sense. It's a very nice design. He uses the bright green, as he's been using throughout most of Dragon's Rising. However, there's hints of dark green all throughout. Not so much of the regular green, I will say. But yeah, he's got a bit of maroon, which has been used for Lloyd a few times, I believe. But that carries over to all the figures, except Sora and Aaron. You've got the tassels, which I believe that has the Ninjago letter L, but I could be wrong. And then just a bunch of belts and stuff. Coming up, we've got the new armor piece. Dragon head on the side, sort of like bamboo type of armoring on the other side. Again, I think it looks very nice compared to some of the other Dragon's Rising figures. I wouldn't say they're the best suits we've gotten, because we've definitely gotten a few better ones. But out of all the suits, these are definitely up there. It comes with the headband piece, unfortunately. I feel like we're not getting regular hair pieces for the main characters anymore, except Cole for some reason. But coming around the back, you got a slot for a sword, and then a bit of back printing, but not that much. And then in there, you can see the letter L for Lloyd, obviously. He then comes with the reveal blade, which is a very nice piece. Dual molded clear red and gold, I believe. And yeah, that clear red is like very nice in person. It probably doesn't capture too well on camera. And then the gold itself is, again, very nice overall. But yeah, Lloyd is a very nice figure. He comes in this one and Rontu, which feels very random, the fact that he comes in both of those. Also weird that both him and Sora only come in the same sets, but that's its own thing. That's Lego being weird. But yeah, pretty cool figure. Onto the final one. And finally we have Sora, who, very different design from the rest of the Ninja. That's because, I mean, she went with Raz, so we know why. However, she keeps that armor piece and a few other things. So again, it's her main color scheme. Same thing, nothing really different. She's got like these confetti, it looks like confetti or like party popper type thing coming all over her suit. And it looks nice. She's got the little cat as well in On that side, she has, I believe that's Ninjago letter for S, for Sora, obviously. Coming up, we've got the dark blue version of this, version of the armor piece, which looks very nice. I feel like it could be used for a custom rogue type armor piece, because he uses that same color, but that's just if you want to do your own thing, I guess. It comes with a headphone combo, I guess that's what we're calling it, which has always looked nice, and I'm glad we're getting it in more sets, obviously. She comes with this lantern, which is, at least in universe, that's how they can see the Spectral Dragonians most of the time. There's a few times where I think they just see them for some other reason. I don't know, but there's one of these in almost every set, I believe. This and the Reveal Blade are, yeah, in almost every set. The only one I know it's not in is the Aaron Mech, which is, and obviously the 2 Legend sets, because that's a very different show. And then coming around to the back, again, very minimal detailing. And then the Ninjago letter for, no, she has the cat with the 5. That's me being stupid. Of course she has the cat with the 5. That's like her main logo. Because her and Aaron, no, Aaron has an A. Sora doesn't get a letter for some reason. Yeah, very nice figure. So that was Lloyd's Jet Mech, I believe that's right. I think this set's genuinely one of my favorites from the entire wave, at least in more of the main show line sets, where it will only show up for the one season. But I think the $109 price or $110 price is actually really fair for this, and that is after all Lego prices went up. So I genuinely think this is one of the greatest sets. The only flaw is it's not the most stable when standing, but that's because they need to have the feet flat at the bottom, like completely flat at the bottom, so it doesn't look weird, because they can't put the rubber pieces at the bottom, because then it looks weird in jet mode, and then they need to do flat so it doesn't look weird in jet mode. It's just a lot. This side build for the villains, so happy we got a actual substantial build. And then obviously Sora's little fly is always great. Figure selection, I would have liked to see maybe one more Dragonian, or just some other character, because 2 Ninja, 2 Dragonians, and then Kerr, it's kind of weird that it's only 5 figures, considering a set a tiny bit, not that much cheaper, but a bit cheaper than this comes with 6, I believe. So yeah, I don't know what the reasoning behind the 5 figures was. It would be nice to get more Dragonians, as there's not a huge army. It's a decent sized army, but not a huge army. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thank you all for watching. Got more reviews coming soon. Ron 2 should be next, but don't hold me to that. Let me know what reviews you do want to see first. Some of the bigger sets will take longer, just because they're longer reviews, they're longer to edit. It's kind of annoying. So just let me know what you want to see. I'll get it out to you guys as soon as I can. Every set is built though, so ask away about them if you want. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.